Wagwan, wagwan, wagwan. I'm your host, Big Truck. Shout out to my man, Coffee Pod. I got mines too, my mushroom coffee. So, he has some things to say. I have some things to say. Then the spirit of the universe is going to take us home. I was kind of hesitant on covering this conversation and reviews. However, I will say this. One thing about fine art, you can look at it from so many angles. Grab your shoulder pads and your helmet and peep this out.
If you ever wondered, if you ever had a notion in your comic book reading ass mind, what would happen if ever, by chance?
This is the standard, right? This is what they want to be acceptable. So it's a statement of you don't have to be special to have a statue that represents you. This is the artist, a British, I think like is a British-born sculptor. Miss Coffee, what can you tell me? We're going to talk to our AI assistant barista, Miss Coffee. What can you tell me about this statue and also the man behind it?
So there's this new statue called Grounded in the Stars. It's huge, 12 feet tall, and it's of a black woman standing strong and confident in regular clothes. Nothing flashy, just real. It was made by this British artist named Thomas J. Price, and the point of it is to show that everyday black women, not just historical figures or celebrities, deserve to be honored and seen in public spaces too. Now picture this. Times Square is full of statues of old white men, generals, war heroes, all that. This one, it's different, it's bold. It's saying this black woman matters. She belongs here too. And to go even deeper, the statue is facing some of those old statues like, yeah, I'm here. And it's challenging the idea of who gets to be monumental. He also included some animated art on the big screens up top, showing men's faces reflecting on identity and emotion to get people thinking beyond the usual.
So this woman does not exist.
You can look at it from so many angles. It's also showing a large number of black women of who they are. You see, a representation of who you are. This is the type of woman that we see every day, especially in the hood. I mean, you can look at it and tell, that ghetto, that hood, talk to the hand, that attitude, modern feminist. I mean, it's right there. You see it when you look at that statue. Like I said, it tells many stories from many angles. Is this a slap in modern black women's face? Could be. But to a large number of modern feminist women, that can be your Negro wake-up call.
Using black women for that representation. And this is why, you wonder why there are conversations when it comes to family structures. Because I thought about this. I said, why not anything else? Why not a sculpture of the black family unit? Can we do that? I don't even think we need the fancy sculptor from London. It says here he was born in 1981, raised by a British mother and a Jamaican father, heritage. Okay. So this is supposed to be a representation of people of color being included. As a black person in the US, I look at this and I say, this is what I hope my daughter does not turn into. This right here, an angry plus size black woman. Instead, this is being celebrated. And the black women who are seeing it are like, wait, that's me. I saw a few chicks who are like, why are they depicting us in this way?
When we talk about that wake-up call, when we talk about the reality check, when we sit up here and we have all these conversations about how black modern feminist women behave. When we have these conversations and we see the behavior on social media, seeing this right here hits the nail on the coffin now. Is it right? No, because he could have put a black family sculpture there. Husband, wife, 2 children, or 1 children. This is family value. This is what a real black family household unit is supposed to look like. But he didn't. This is what he chose to do. Or maybe the other side told him to do it.
Again, this could be anything else. I even went to Miss Coffee and asked her. I said, can you generate a few different sculptures of strong black men or maybe a black family unit? and it came up with some better ones. Look at that. Isn't this more positive and empowering?
That is amazing. That is amazing. Now that's a family structure. That's a team. Y'all know 50-50. That's what 50-50 look like.
You can't make this shit up.
In today's society, they ain't pushing for that. They don't want this.
Y'all heard it.
Have to accept that they are men, because it's not just the women out here who celebrate this. There are men out here who look at this and they go, yes, our black women make better leaders than us. They should be leading us. They should be put in a position of masculinity and leadership.
The strong black man, the strong leader. When we look at these sculptures, yes, the sculptures tells a story.
Maybe he doesn't believe in a father and a mother being an ideal when it comes to parenting and family structure. This whole thing seems like a whole political movement by the left.
And I would argue that the left probably told him to do it. It's not really no blame, no shame on him. However, this is a reality check for a large number of modern feminist black women. In my opinion, this is that reality check. Y'all want to go on social media and behave the way you behave. Well, guess what? Now you're centered where everybody can see you for who you really are. This is a large number of black women, modern feminist black women's wake-up call. This is your Negro wake-up call. For those modern feminist mammies out there, Spider Monkey, 99 Cent, Mop Bucket Pirates. Either way, the conversations will be had.
Points to why, when men are dating out here, when they're wanting to build a relationship with a lot of women, there's this idea of like, why do women think, oh, I'm a goddess? Oh, black women. Why do they think, oh, I'm a goddess, I'm a queen, and we don't bow down to anybody? In fact, we are above our men. We are the women who get things done. I can raise a family. I don't need a man in my life.
I want you guys to pay attention right there. That's the problem.
To a large number of women that think that way and believe in their mind that it can be so, that they can do that, you see the result of that in the behavior of the children that you raise so low.
What influences that are all these different visual representations of a woman standing by herself and being convinced that she wouldn't be better off with the man. A few more photos here. I already showed you guys this one. There's also this one. These are kind of dope, right? I don't get it. I do not understand. And to have daughters. Does this representation of what a woman is, a black woman is, does this sit well with you?
No. If I had a daughter, that right there, that would not be the image that I would put in my daughter's head. The same type of woman that we see every day walking around the hood. Hell, you got women that size, they be slanging cheeks.
You can't make this shit up.
Think of a young boy who's walking around and sees a statue of a strong black woman consistently, but never sees a statue of a strong black man. A man who's not a criminal, a man who's respectable, preferably a man who has accomplished something. This has effects. And if you're not careful and you're raising up your kids, you realize that you are raising them up to be extremely woke. And the sculptor said that he has the black woman facing the white men, sort of ready to fight them and stand up to them, a bulldog. Is this what you want your women to be? That's not what I want my women to be.
I want the feminine. I want the family structure.
Y'all heard it.
Different individuals are giving their thesis on this statue. And when you sit back and listen, let me know what you think. Share. You know how we get down over here. Until then, one.